So I've been using Claude Code just like anyone else to build applications, to build mobile applications, websites, and so forth. And what I've identified is that we can now build solutions in no time. We can build and launch in no time because of these AI tools. But someone or some people are still struggling to get clients, right? And no one is actually talking about how one can actually get clients, because as entrepreneurs, without clients, the game becomes very challenging, right? So you need clients to survive. You need clients to actually build, right? Not just to build for the sake of building because you have the tools, right? We need to build because we have identified a problem, a client was willing to pay, then we build, right? So I'm going to share with you how I managed to identify the problem, then how I then applied this framework and started getting money to actually build it, right? So let's get into it. So the first thing that we need to actually identify is actually the problem, right? So with this client, what happened is that we were looking for a daycare center to take our daughter to, me and my wife. Then in the process of searching, obviously using Google, we were looking for websites for nearby daycare centers and also trying to see the reviews that were left there by other parents, right? Then we came across one of the daycare centers that was referred to us by someone, and we visited their site. Their site was just saying it's coming soon. Then we went over to their Facebook page. The Facebook page was amazing. It had all the recent stories, reviews. They were there. Parents were happy with with the school. So we did the enrollment process, which we did manually, and and so forth and so forth. So now 2 weeks later, my daughter is now going to that school and so forth, and I revisited their site and I was hit by the same message, coming soon, right? So I went back home and I started thinking, okay, if these guys, they are taking so long to just have just a website to be up and running, it means there's something wrong. And again, the fact that we filled in numerous forms manually, it means somehow they are running their operations manually, even though they're offering a great service, right? So the second step that I did was that I had to do a code visit, right? So a code visit, this is just me from nowhere visiting a client and asking a bunch of questions, selling myself and all those things, right? So what I did is I went to the school. Then I met one of the staff members. I started asking them questions like, okay, I saw your website, it's like this, what's the story behind it? Then they told me, no, it's a long story, we looked for someone, then it's probably like, they're taking so long and we have never seen anything. So for me, that was a win, because I now know this person has already frustrated the client, and it's now my time to actually step up and solve whatever that's happening, right? So I then asked for a decision maker, which is the principal, right? So I was like, okay, so when can I come and actually talk to your principal and pitch or propose what I have for you? Because I work in this line where we create websites, we help small businesses go digital, we help them streamline their operations. Then I was told, okay, I'll book you for the next morning, which I went back home happy, and I now knew that I have to create something, right? So instead of me waiting for the meeting, right, I started researching, because I didn't want to go there the following morning and be like just an ordinary website designer or whatever, right? I wanted to make sure that I position myself in a way that they won't say no, right? So what I did, went to ThemeForest, looked for a template for daycares, then came back, went to Claude Code, gave it the template. I gave it all the documents, the school documents that we were given, when we were actually looking for our daughter's place. I gave it there. I gave it all that. I gave it the logo and some instructions on how now to structure the landing page. Because remember, when you're designing websites, the landing page, this is the first page that anyone can see, from the hero section up until call to action, the final call to action. So I gave it to Claude Code, that whole layout, and it created me a landing page. It also created me an admin platform. Right now, the main part here is I created a landing page, and this is probably what they were looking for, just a website, right? But I went an extra where now I want to solve what they are suffering from, which is the admin chaos and all that, because we got a bunch of papers and we were getting responses from emails. We couldn't track our application and all that, which is now, I think it's an advantage for me because I'm a tech person. I quickly identify some of these things, right? And this is why I enjoy going into spaces of users where if I'm in your space, I can quickly pick up your broken workflow and try to come up with something. So I did that. Then come the following morning, after dropping the kid, I went to the principal's office. They were already briefed about me coming there and so forth and so forth. So as I was about to pitch, right, the principal said, but we already have someone whom we already paid full money, and it's just unfortunate that we never heard from him. So now, like, no, don't worry, I know the frustration and all those, the sweet talk of a salesperson, but I already have a solution for you, and this is what you are actually looking for, right? Showed them the website. They were impressed. Then I went ahead to show them the admin, where there's the administration section where they handle all the admin tasks. There's the staff section where the teachers need to monitor the classrooms, marking attendances and so forth and so forth. Then the parent section where they can pay their fees, download stuff from the kids, kids activities and all those things. Right now, before I finished presenting, the principal herself, she asked me, okay, Prosper, I'm impressed, I'm hooked already, how much do you want? Right? And this is the most interesting part when I do this type of pitches. The moment you start asking me the price, it means you already have seen the value. So it's either the value that I've given you, it's way more than what you're anticipating. And now this is me trying to now put a price, right? Which is the most difficult part, but I like it, right? Because it gives me the the ability now to value myself, right? So I told her my price. Then she was shocked with the price, because I think I had overcharged, because now she was comparing my price with the previous price. But now the only advantage on my side is that I had already shown them value before they even paid, right? So we then entered a negotiation moment, and the atmosphere changed in the room. Now I'm negotiating with a happy person than someone who was still stuck with the frustration. Now imagine this, if I didn't go there with my own work already prepped and all that, it was going to be a disaster. So what I did now is I showed them the demo. Now we are selling, right? We are negotiating the price. And fortunate enough, we managed actually to meet halfway, where I'm happy, they're also happy, and the deal was sealed. So I went back home, started creating my offer documents, contract, invoice. The first invoice, as you know, before you start doing anything, after you have sold something, you need to create an invoice. They need to pay before you start doing the actual work, right? So send them the first invoice, got paid, and all documents signed and stuff. Now the interesting part is the sixth part, which is the build part. So now, as you can see on the build part, right, when you have agreed, your client is hooked, now you start to build, right? The building part, most people get it wrong. They take the client's money and then they go away, forgetting to say they need to update, to always keep the user in the loop, because you are not designing for yourself, guys. You are designing for the client. Hence, the client needs to be within the process, right? And now, how do I do this? I set up a communication channel with them, the one which they are comfortable with, right? And for this client, we're actually using WhatsApp, and we are also using emails, right, for important documentations and stuff, right? So I asked them, I need someone whom I can speak to if I need extra information, like, you need extra forms, you need, just to dig deep, for them. So they assigned a staff lady for me to talk to, and also the principal is also involved in the process, right? So that's for information access. Then we do weekly demos, right? So part of the communication is I need to keep them in the loop. So I do weekly demos where I show them what I've been doing for that particular week. They can see the stuff. Now, the interesting part is the deployments. Before I start building, I make sure that the environment where this website is going to sit, or where this solution is going to sit, is ready, such that I can release feature by feature. As I'm finishing a feature, I send it out for them to review. This will then reduce the review time at the end of the day, or at the end of the project, because we were reviewing together. I finish this feature, I send it out to them, they can access it, they make whatever decisions they want to make, they want to make adjustments and so forth, and they feed me back the information, I adjust, and we go. Now, as you can see, with this part only, this is another element of buying trust from your clients. They need to know what you're working on. They need to see what you're actually working on, right? Proof is there, we are working. Proof is there that I'm actually doing anything. I didn't just take their money, went away, be quiet, and come from nowhere and say, here's your work, right? I don't do that. I come to your space, we discuss, we share, we create these channels where you see the value as I'm building, right? There's clarity there, there's transparency there, there's all that back and forth that happens. It's there and it's documented, right? So that's what I do. Set up the sandbox, send them every week. I send them the demo link where they can see the stuff. Then when we finally done with the reviews, they are happy with all the features, then we send everything to production. Right now, the work doesn't end in production. There's also maintenance that's going to happen. So remember, I didn't sell them a website, because a website sometimes can be just once off job, but in this game you don't want that. You want retainers. You want people that always come back to you, because you are providing a solution, not just a website, right? So what I did in my offer is there was a section where I'll be maintaining the website, then we'll also be helping them with their, with them going fully digital with anything that they want, right? So now I'm locking in my client, and at the same time, I will upsell other solutions. So for this one, I know it's a daycare. Currently, we are busy with the website. Then we will move on to the admin section. Then at some point, because I'm dealing with 3 people now, I'm dealing with the school, I'm dealing with the parents, and the kid himself or herself, right? So at the end, somehow I have a feeling a mobile application will be needed, right? And I will upsell that because of the quality of work that I've already shown so far. I'm sure me proposing a mobile application or any other solution to them will be a no-brainer, right? So this is how I lock in clients, right? Don't just build stuff and disappear and show up from nowhere, late and all that. So this is exactly how I got this client, right? And currently we have sent them 2 demos and they are happy. As you can see on the screen here, this is what they said to me, right? This is a snapshot of the chat that we had after sending them the demo. They are happy, and I'm also happy because I'm working with a client who's happy, and even their response when I need extra information, it's even quicker because I have demonstrated that I can deliver, and what I do, I deliver value, right? So the moral of this video is start implementing this demo cell build. Don't just build for the sake of building. Right? If you really want to make it in 2026 going forward, if you want your brand to be well known for value and stuff, exchange value with money, right? Build, identify a problem, identify the user whom that problem is affecting, go to them, talk to them, understand their pain points, then build. Now you are building with intention, you're building with clarity. This is it, guys. This is all that I had with me today. And if you have enjoyed this video, please do like, share, and also turn on your notification bell so that you won't miss more content that I'll be producing as well. If you are new to the channel, welcome to the channel. My name is Prosper. I'm a full stack developer. I help business go digital through my experience, like through creating websites, through web applications, through digitizing via mobile applications and so forth. This is what I do, and this is me, right? And on this channel I come with insights, frameworks that I see that are working for my brand, that I also think they'll work for your brand. So if you're new here, please do subscribe, and as well turn on your notification bell like I said. And if you have anything that you would want me to share on this channel, please do leave it in the comments. And if you have any other frameworks that you are using, right, and you think they'll win or they will make people win in 2026, drop them in the comments. Let's have the discussion. Let's talk, let's share ideas and win together, guys. So with all this, I say go do a demo, sell, then start building with AI. Start using these tools to build, to elevate your brand and so forth. So with all that, see you in the next one.